KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. 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 Follow the leader.
I know I may be young, but I've got feelings too. And I need to do what I feel like doing. So let me go and just listen. All you people look at me like I'm a little girl. Well, did you ever think it'd be okay for me to step into this world? Always saying, little girl, don't step into the club. Well, I'm just trying to find out why, 'cause dancing's what I love. Yeah. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Just feels good. I know I may come off quiet, may come off shy, but I feel like talking, feel like dancing when I see this guy. What's practical, what's logical, what the hell, who cares? All I know is I'm so happy when you're dancing there. I'm a slave for you.
Welcome in, welcome in. You are locked in to RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Getting it started with a little classic Britney Spears. I'm a slave for you. I got a story about that song. I'm going to tell it in a little bit because, you know, the Neptunes produced it. That was when the Neptunes were hot like fire. And, of course, well, I'll get into it in a second. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. I, of course, am your host. This is the show where we hit all the trending topics across entertainment, sports, lifestyle, and culture. And as the station says, listen, we have a lot of things to get into tonight. It is heated on this Thursday evening. So I hope that you are comfortable, that you have a beverage, perhaps a libation. It is Thursday, which is Friday Junior, right? And you are comfortable and ready to dive into these topics. Now, listen, if you aren't already, hit us up on social, KBLA 1580. I, of course, am at Stiletto Jill everywhere. If you want to, at any point in time, add your commentary to this conversation, hit us up, 800-920-1580. That is the number. Call in. Give us your opinion. We like it. And, of course, if you want the visual experience to this audio experience, hop into the YouTube chat. We are there. There's always a lot of conversation and opinions. It's pretty interesting in there. So go check that out. Now, let me give you the rundown of tonight's topics of the things that we're going to get into. So first up, Eboni K. Williams is at it again. You know, we love Eboni K. Williams. Well, the lawyer in her, she says in an interview that prenups are not just for the very rich. Prenups are for middle-class couples, too. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Talk to, I have a guest tonight, so I'm going to ask her a couple of the Eboni K. Williams questions because I want to hear her opinion on it. We always talk a little bit about that, and it's always interesting to get some insight from people. We're also going to talk about Rick Ross. He has a new girlfriend, and, Rick Ross will keep it moving on a relationship. A lot of rings, a lot of situations, and then a lot of new girlfriends. Nothing wrong with that. But his latest girlfriend, after she received some commentary that people say she's just with Rick Ross because he's rich, she says that you guys are just haters and you have never had a man to keep you in your power. I want to get into what the heck does that mean? We're going to talk about that and a little bit about, why some people may be skeptical about this latest situation. And then in hour 3, we are going to get into a story regarding an ex-Facebook DEI executive, that's diversity and inclusion, who embezzled $4 million from the company in order to fund her lavish lifestyle between here and Atlanta. You already know what that means. We're going to get into that. And of course, as I mentioned earlier in the week, in the last hour, we have interviews from Sterling K. Brown and Jeffrey Wright for their new film, American Fiction. We're also going to be talking to Taraji P. Henson, Fantasia, and Danielle Brooks from the new musical, The Color Purple. And we got a little reality TV interview for you with Letitia Lunsford. That's Sweet Tea, y'all, from Married to Medicine. So make sure that you are tapped in for that in hour 3. And we have a guest in studio tonight. Her name is Chellz. She is a social media sensation. She's a media personality, but I guarantee you have seen her commentary on social media, on any of the blog sites, on any of other news sites. You've seen her on TMZ, all of that. We're going to get into it with her and some of these trending topics. I've been waiting for Chellz to come through because we're going to have a good time. I love her commentary on these things. We're also going to talk a little bit about Megan Thee Stallion and Party and their little media barbs and exchanges, because we haven't talked too much about that, and more. But before we get into all of that, as if that isn't enough, of course, I have a couple of conversation starters for you. These are topics that we don't really have time to get the full story tonight in, but I want you to be aware, because what? I keep you aware, right? So first up, if you haven't heard, Eddie Murphy is coming back as Axel Foley. Next summer on Netflix, 2024, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F is dropping. The teaser for it just dropped all across social media, so make sure you hit it up. You know, that is one of Eddie's signature roles, and I'm curious to see if he's back in his action movie bag, like comedy thing. I want to see the combination of it. If you haven't checked out Eddie in Candy Cane Lane right now, which is on Prime Video, it's a nice, funny family comedy. That's great. You can lock into that too, but I'm excited to see what he's bringing as Axel Foley. And also, listen, when we come forward, I am going to tell you about the new stars for season 2 of Queen's Court. You know, that's the Peacock reality dating show that Tamar Braxton, Nivea, and Evelyn Lozada was on. 2 of them found fiancés. One of those fiancés is very, very messy, but season 2 rolls on. So we're going to tell you who the new bachelorettes are going to be. All of that and more on the other side. You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
Boom, boom.
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you a Christmas season that is merry and bright. Happy holidays.
Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree for me.
Environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, Black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any Black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So listen, before we came forward, I was telling you about the new bachelorettes coming to Peacock's Queen's Court. Remember season 1, it had Tamar Braxton, Evelyn Lozada, and Nivea. If you're curious about the age range of the show, Tamar is 46, Evelyn was 48, Nivea was 41. Well, season 2, it was already announced that K. Michelle will be one of the contestants. No way. Yes. So joining K. Michelle, according to the Jasmine brand, they exclusively got this info, is that Lisa Ray McCoy, 56, and Delicious, born Chandra Davis, 45, have signed on to complete the trio. So I think that might be some interesting reality TV. That is an interesting cast, right? We're going to be ready to get it in. Okay, so look, I am not alone here. And since we are obviously going to get into that and Miss Eboni K. Williams, because I know we have a lot to talk about. I want to welcome, as I told you, she is, listen, a social media darling, a media personality. Stop. She has a new podcast dropping soon. Please welcome Chellz in the building.
Hey, y'all. Hello. I'm being all shy.
Hi.
I'm like, hi, you guys. But no, thank you so much, Jill, for having me. I am just so elated to be here. It took some time, just due to scheduling, things like that. But I'm so excited. I adore you. I'm so glad I came. Jill has, you guys, Jill has, I've known Jill since I first started doing red carpets, and Jill, just who you are as a person, just your disposition, just you were always ready to help. You didn't even know. I felt like such a little baby on carpets, and then you were just there. You didn't even know me. And I think that just shows a lot about your character. So I'm super excited for you, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Listen, look, sound effects. But you don't even remember where we met.
Jill, I don't. I'm so young, girl. My memory be so awful.
Listen. Because it's funny. We met at Drea Michelle's Power Brunch.
No.
That is where we met.
Are you serious?
That's where we met.
It wasn't a carpet?
It was before you were doing carpets.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Jill, I'm so glad your memory is that good. I literally thought we were on a carpet, and I just remember having a tripod issue, and you were like, oh, let me help you, or scoot right here. You were assisting me.
That's where, I think we met at Drea's thing. We didn't see each other for a couple years, and then,
Look at that.
But that's where we met at Drea's.
I always get amazed when I hear stories. It's like fate to me. You know what I mean? You're in the same space with somebody, and then this time passes, and then you end up in the same space with them again. Wow, I didn't even know that. That Power Brunch, I remember her little Power Brunch series. They were a little cool. At the
Zen Lounge.
The Zen Lounge, yes.
Zen Lounge right there
I
in the
miss
valley.
the Zen Lounge.
If you listen, if you listen to some of the topics,
Yes,
Will had to catch that in.
Yeah.
We don't know. So listen, Eboni K. Williams, we've heard a lot about Eboni over the past few months. She has a show that is on the Griot. This clip that we're going to play is from in an interview that she did with the Earn Your Leisure podcast, which, you know, is about finances and dealing with us and our finances and setting that up, investing, things of that nature. So we know that she got in trouble with people when the bus commentary came around.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
What was your position on that?
I agreed with her.
Okay.
Girl, don't get me started. Like, don't even get me started. No, like, I get what she was saying, and everyone was so mad at her. It's just like when Tyler Perry came out with the clip, and he was like, if your man could only pay the light bill. And it's like, why? But why do I have to date some? Like, okay, let's just say you do drive a bus. Like, there are women out there that are willing to accept that. Why are you coming over here with my multiple degrees, my salary, my lifestyle that I've already built for myself as a single woman, and say I have to settle? I don't want to say settle because that's the wrong word to use. It has like a negative connotation. That I have to date somebody that I deem is just not at the same appropriate level for me.
Yoked.
Correct. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, there are women out there that would do it. So it's like, why are we always having this conversation with women who have all this stuff going for themselves, all this stuff going on, this amazing life that they built for themselves, climbing financial ladders, climbing degree ladders, climbing ladders in their field to say, well, you know, just because you have all that stuff, what's wrong with dating somebody that's a bus driver?
Because there are more bus drivers than these guys. And it's like, well, the option for y'all is y'all want to be lonely. You know, that's the thing that we
I think that there's women that work at these bus driving places, correct? They should date a bus driver.
Maybe they don't want to date a bus driver. Listen, okay, so
make another hove.
In this clip, Eboni says that people oftentimes think that prenups are just for, you know, the rich, the wealthy, but that if you're middle class, you know, if you have a 401k, you might have some assets, you need to think about getting a prenup too. So let's hear her reasoning. We're going to listen to what she had to say.
Okay.
Let's talk about the fact that, this is not a conversation for the wealth class. And I think ultimately people feel that way because of the way it's been framed by those of us in the media. The very first prenup I drew up was for one of my sorority sisters, who between her and her future husband didn't even bring in but they were not clearing $200,000 between the two of them. And a prenup was a very good idea for them. Why? The gentleman brought in a couple assets into the marriage. And listen, most states and family law, which is what we're talking about, right, guys? Anytime you're talking about spousal support, which is another word for alimony, child support, these things, prenups, those are all governed by local jurisdictions, meaning state by state. And most states have basic statutes or laws in place that say when you bring assets to the relationship or the marriage, those are considered separate property pieces and they will be protected anyway. But why risk it, right? Because then facts get conflated. Because in this case of this young woman in my story, she was going to be moving into his house that he had already owned indeed was still had a mortgage on it, but it was deeded to him singularly. So we would like to believe that it would be designated as separate property, but why risk it? So go ahead. That's something you want to put in a prenup. Something else to put in a prenup. What happens to your pensions? A lot of people in this conversation right now have great jobs from various municipalities and government. We're talking about people in law enforcement, people that are teachers, people that are in nurses, whatever it is, you want to make sure those things are designated. So yes, when you're specifically in that kind of like 65 to like $125,000 income range, prenups are for you.
So Chellz, you don't think you're laughing? Why are you laughing?
Because I'm not getting no prenup at $65K. What the heck?
So look, think about
you
this.
Want my $1,500 in the divorce?
Somebody might. They
Girl.
might. Think about this. You would be mad as heck, right? Let's say if you got married, right? I guess for me, I think about, and granted, they're dealing with more money, but you think about your Sherry Shepherds, your Mary J. Bliges, and such, and they ended up in divorce and had to pay their husband alimony and things of that nature, right? So if, let's say me and the guy, we're at 65 and 70K a piece, right? But I have my 401k, which I've worked hard for, and let's say I had $200,000 in it, right? And I had put some money on my little condo, and, I have some equity in my condo. Why should I have to give that to you when we divorce, because you're supposed to be the man, right? And
Let me start off by
care.
saying all of those assets at 65K sounds amazing. Because typically 65K, people don't have those two things you just said.
They might. I know that they probably may not. Like,
yeah,
I'm not going to
but
judge.
you're just giving an example. Like
Yeah.
if you built those things over the years, then yes, I agree. If you built those things over the years, see, I'm thinking of a perspective of like you just have a job and you're making 65K. But you're saying if you have assets,
Yeah.
then
so
yes, you should.
I think that, because, and you very well could. If you start working at 18, 19
That's
years
true.
old, right? By the time you're 28, if you've been putting a little $100 here, $100 there into your pension, if you have a pension or a 401k, it might be a nice little nest egg.
That's
and
true.
Your company was matching.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
should, if we, meet someone, we think we're in love, 2 years later, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
Do you really want to have to give any of that up?
No, and I think it's great that she's even raising these topics because just like myself, I'm saying now, I'm like, I'm not even thinking about these things because when you hear prenup, you think of people that make a way higher wage, have way larger assets. But from your perspective, I think it's good now to have this conversation because if the average person is making like 65K, 75K, they're probably not even thinking like, oh, this person wouldn't come after my things or my 401k, but then there's probably somebody that would. So yeah, I think that actually now that you said that and hearing her say that, everybody probably should.
I mean, it's just no one, I feel, gets married to get divorced, right?
Right.
And nobody wants to talk about that. But then the flip side of that is, well, if we're not going to get divorced, it's really just, some things just in case that we'll never have to deal with.
Yeah.
But I think it is important because, there is something to, for some, leaving with what you came. I mean, there's different things. What if, something happened and you're with him and he lost his job for a significant time period and you're the breadwinner, right? And you guys are divorcing, but let's say when he had his job, he was making much more money. You got to have those type of provisions written out because he also could say, well, this is my money, but I supported you for a year and a half.
People
and
get
it was all
nasty
my
during
money.
divorces.
They do. They love you until they don't.
Yeah, and then there's things that you wouldn't even think your partner would do, and they end up doing them. So it's always good to protect yourself and your assets.
So what really quickly, I mean, and it kind of fits along because Lisa Ray, Delicious, and K. Michelle's never been married, right?
I don't think so.
No, she just had a broken pocketbook, she said. after
Yeah, and then
dealing
she
with
was
somebody.
dating Miff Hints when she was coming up. So I don't think she's been married, no.
So what do you think about that cast and their potential to find love?
Oh my God, it's such an extreme cast. Like even like all those strong personalities, Lisa Ray and K. Michelle
and Delicious,
like that is a lot. And I would hope that I would hope that they find love. I really would, because I know that if you watch them through their personal journey on other shows that they've been at, it seems like that's kind of been a common goal. So I feel like with this next round, hopefully they take it a little bit more serious, but it's going to be challenging. They have some strong personalities, and I don't know. I just think sometimes, and I could be wrong because I'm still of a certain age, but I feel like the older I get, the more stuck I am in my ways, which makes dating more challenging.
Right.
So I can't even imagine them. They've already been on television. They're all successful. They've all had public breakups, public relationships like that. Now they're dating like criteria. I'm curious to know like what it even is,
Did you watch season 1?
I did.
And what did you think of
I
that
liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it. I felt like it wasn't like the average dating show. I mean, there were some moments. Like, I feel like there were some guys on there you can tell literally got casted just to cast. You know what I mean?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
So, and then there's other people that seemed like they might have been genuinely there to find love. But I really enjoyed it. I think it was a good dynamic of the dating show, and then I like that it was a dating show, and these 3 women are like in their 40s
bonding together.
And then they were creating
exactly.
And they were creating a sisterhood there. It wasn't like your average like dating show like these other ones that are on where the people are all in their early 20s when it's like or Love is Blind, which I actually love too, but like it was different to see it from a POV of women that were in their 40s looking for love.
So do you think, because we're talking about Eboni sort of in her topic about, middle class people getting prenup, and then you look at shows like this and you think about how quickly Tamar and Tamar and Evelyn got engaged in season 1, right? What are your stance on prenups under that circumstance? Or do you think these shows, like, realistically, should they be talking about popping out a ring?
No, I don't agree. Even with Love is Blind, the whole it's like the end of Queen's Court. Like, the goal is to get engaged. Like, you literally, I don't know. How long are they in the show? Like 6 weeks?
I don't even think it's that long. I'm going to be honest with you. I think they probably go in about 2 or 3 weeks. I can't imagine.
That's what I'm saying.
Weeks.
So imagine if you meet a guy not on television. You meet him, I don't know, on a dating app or just outside. 2 weeks. And then let's say you continue talking after for additional 2 to 3 weeks and you're getting married. That is so, it's just so dangerous because you don't even really know the person. You're still dating the representative. And to throw a ring on that is I don't know, it's kind of wild to me. But maybe you get to a certain point in life, you're like, well, I don't care.
I know what I want.
Exactly. We'll figure it out. But in those circumstances, you absolutely, at the end of the show, it should actually be an NDA and a prenup right there. Because if you serious, sign this NDA. Here you go.
Well, what do you think about what's going on with Tamar?
Prenup, I'm sorry.
Yeah, with Tamar and JR from the show and Tommy.
I think it's awful.
Do you think it's do you think any of it is staged, or do you think he is caught up in his newfound celebrity?
I don't think it is great to date a man who is, when he gets hurt, is willing to go publicly embarrass you or date somebody that you are arguing with online as a get back. I think a well-seasoned, mature man should handle his hurt in a way different way. If you are still at this point of your life as a business person, a father, you've been a husband at some point or whatever, and you're conducting yourself online publicly in that kind of manner, you wouldn't be a man of mine after. But then also, she likes to conduct herself publicly, so it's like a match made in heaven, honestly, low key.
I do not do public embarrassment.
I don't either, baby. You do
anything
public, you will never hear from me again.
Listen, when we come forward, we're going to have more on this topic. Of course, speaking of men that get bitter and strike back, we're going to talk about what's going on with Meg and Party and their subliminal shots across the media. I think they're both being a little disingenuous with how all of this, but youthful business. We'll get into that. All of that and more on the other side. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. News and sports is up next.
With you, I really wanna do what you want me to do. I really wanna dance tonight with you. I really wanna do what you want me to do. Baby, don't you wanna dance up on me to another time and place? Oh baby, don't you wanna dance up on me?
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. There's a new push for a South Carolina state hate crime bill after a Thanksgiving weekend cross-burning incident at the home of a black couple in Conway. The cross-burning was part of a series of acts of racial harassment the couple was allegedly subjected to by their next-door neighbors, who are now awaiting trial on multiple charges. South Carolina is one of only 2 states that does not have a hate crime law on the books. The Minnesota Supreme Court says segregation in schools in the Twin Cities does not violate state law unless it's intentional. Parents filed a lawsuit asking the court to rule that racial and socioeconomic segregation in schools in Minneapolis and St. Paul violated the state constitution's education clause. The justices instead ruled that the existence of racial imbalances in schools is not proof that those imbalances lead to poor educational outcomes for some students. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Don't settle for bumps, ingrowns, and itch due to dry skin. Venus for Pubic Hair and Skin is here with the only razor and regimen specifically designed for your pubic area, featuring a razor with a patented irritation defense bar and skincare regimen that is dermatologist and gynecologist tested. Venus helps protect your pubic skin from shave irritation. Visit GilletteVenus.com to learn more about our full regimen of products.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcasts of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader.
Following the leader.
Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Every child deserves the best teachers, facilities, and academic programs to set them up for success. At Milton Hershey School in Hershey, Pennsylvania, we make that a reality for children from qualifying families who are looking for greater opportunities. Milton Hershey School enrolls students from pre-K through 12th grade from across the United States to live and learn on a beautiful state-of-the-art campus with all costs covered. Are you looking to set your child up for success or know a child who could benefit from Milton Hershey School? Learn more at mhskids.org/admissions.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. I love that song. It's so pretty. It makes me think of mountaintops, and I think, was the video like that? Maybe I think of that because the video was like that, or she was in the forest or something. That's a good, late 90s, early 2000s when videos had real budgets.
Come on.
$1 million,
Come
$2
on.
million.
Hype X.
And location.
Come on now.
Lil X.
Lil X and Hype. I put
Hype
them together.
Williams.
Hype Williams, Lil X.
Well, Lil X worked for Hype.
Okay. I know you know, Jill. I know you know.
And you know what else? Let's see. Billy Woodruff.
Oh, yes.
Lionel Martin.
Yes.
Those were some of the directors back in the day. What is the guy's name? He was married to or with the Noxzema girl for a minute.
Ooh.
Brett Ratner.
Oh,
Brett
see,
Ratner.
you going back farther than I know.
He and he ended up directing films and stuff like that.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. So, listen. We like Faith Evans. That was sweet. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. I am joined by media personality Chellz. Yes. So listen, I want to talk to you a bit because, people often try forever. They wish they could go viral one time. They wish that they could end up on the Jasmine brand, the Shade Room, Neighborhood Talk, Complex,
Hollywood Unlocked, Yahoo, BuzzFeed, just to name a few.
I know, just
to name
like the list is on and on and on. But really, it is a talent.
Thank you.
It is, to be witty and quick like that, to say things, but to be able to connect with people like that online. And you also have a business where you help people along with that. But we'll get into that in a second. But how did you know, how does one know that they have a talent for that? Were you always just quick with the responses and the comebacks, or?
Yeah, so my first viral tweet was in 2020 during the pandemic. And I just tweeted about, what did I say? I was like, I'm
gonna let y'all go outside.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm gonna let y'all go outside I'm gonna let the first batch of air hit y'all, to see what happens first. And I was serious, joking serious, but I just tweeted it. And then I was like, and then the next tweet was, I said, how the iPhones have the iPhone S. I was like, I'm gonna let y'all, I don't remember tweet go to tweet. So, and that was my first time going viral. And I remember I was working out, and then I seen it got all these likes and got all these likes and got all these retweets. I didn't know what to do. I just stopped in my tracks. I was like, what is this? I was like, oh my God, am I going viral? And then after that, it just snowballed. So here's the thing. People ask me all the time, how do you go viral? And I always tell them, I don't know. I never send a tweet out and I'm like, oh, this is going to be the one, right?
Be it. Yeah.
I think the key to everything that I say, on top of it just being really, really, really funny, I think it's just so relatable. Sometimes I say things and I'll tweet them I'm laughing as I'm typing it, right? And I'm like, I don't know if somebody gonna think this funny. I'm like, well, this is hilarious to me.
Right.
And it is a skill and is a talent because I'll see something and then automatically my mind will go to what to tweet about it, what what gift to use, what to say. So people ask me if they if they want to go viral, and I'm just like, be yourself, there's some thought you have out there. There's some joke you have out there that I feel like somebody will mess with. But if you go out there and you intent to go viral, it probably will never happen that way. If you're oh, I'm about to go viral, it's well, if it does, amazing. But just be you, I'm outside of Twitter. I'm just witty and funny like that. So it's just me translating that conversation and that, type of banter, just typing it out as opposed to just saying it. But I feel like it don't translate on when I do a video, I feel like it's not the same.
I think sometimes, with video, sometimes we get nervous or we get in our head when we're, trying to work out the delivery and get that right little moment to make it hit. But you talk about authenticity in that and just being yourself. How does it feel to see? Because here's the thing, what makes something relatable is it's something that we've all thought, but maybe not articulated or said, right? But one of the things that I noticed with that tweet and then later with some of the other tweets that you have that have gone viral is people try and remix it, but they're not quite as witty as you. So they're remixing it, but it's not quite it. Is imitation the sincerest form of
No,
flattery
it is
for you?
not. No, it is not. I cannot stand it. So one particular, I remember I had one tweet that got copied by a popular blog on Instagram that all he does is post blank
Just
tweets. Hello. I had one tweet make it to his page and he was blocked immediately. I'm not playing that. I think, and I say this all the time about Twitter, we have to find a way where people cannot steal our intellectual property. If you steal a TikTok or if you copy something that's a video format, it's a big deal. Or even like, you know, in journalists as a publication, it's a big deal. But somebody could literally go to your tweet, pull it down, paste it, screenshot it, crop your name out, put it on a white background, and then they're now called memes. Oh, I'm a meme page creator. No, those are literally somebody's thoughts. Like when my friends send me like memes or whatever, they're like, look at this. It's so funny. I'm like, I know the girl who tweeted that. Like, and it's over here on Instagram now or on Facebook. And I just think it's really unfair. And I know sometimes people, like, they'll have conversations with me like about like, oh, you're on Twitter. Like, I'm pretty sure like this is like taking you like some places, and it's like it can, but I feel like video content is gold, which I'm like moving more towards in now than having Twitter. But I don't like, what did Drake say? He was like, imitations and flattery is just annoying. Like it's annoying to me, you know. It's like, why would you just steal my tweet like that? And then when people see your tweet and then go viral too off of it, it's very annoying. And it's like, it's just not gonna have the same weediness added to me.
It's not going to hit the same.
It's not going to hit the same.
Because you don't know. So we talked a little bit about, you know, revenge, men talking in public when we were talking about JR and Tamar Braxton's fiance and things like that. What are your thoughts on this second phase of Meg and Party? Because I feel like both of them are being a little disingenuous. I think that Meg saying, and I understand, you guys say I slept with everyone, so how do you know what ex-boyfriend I was talking about? But at the same time, that felt a little gaslighty, just a tad, because, well, Meg, this was your last known relationship. You guys broke up out of the blue. You went from so in love to we don't know what happened. So naturally, people are going to assume, as well as him, even if it didn't happen, like you're trying to cliquish. And, you know, he did go a little extra in his song, but Ride the Wave, you did. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about
his
this?
defense was like, well, she brought it up. Nobody would know. But then it's like, we can't control how somebody deals with their pain through their art, right? And I just think like, I don't know. Something about like him wanting to like make a diss record. Like everything that they do is so ping pong, you know, like she makes a diss record, he makes a diss record. Like, you know, he goes on air, then she goes on live. Like, I just feel like something about their breakup feels very unsettled to me, because when you're like done with somebody on each side, him or her, it's like, I wouldn't care if somebody wrote a song or if somebody went live. Like, I'm done. Like, you could say what you want to say. And then he's like, well, I'm defending myself. But you don't really have to, though. You could have, like, just moved on. And the thing about it is, people don't understand that the social media cycle is very fast. If he would have never responded, the song would have done what it would have done, and we would have moved on from it. But the fact that he responded, now we're rehashing it again, you know? And then it's like, he goes on a press tour for what? I do not know. Was he promoting anything?
I don't believe so. I think I guess that single.
That is insane. See, now that's insane. Now it's just like everybody is trying to get each other back. They're trying to get each other back. But my thing is like, what's the resolve? Like, you know, it's like, are you guys going to get back together? No. Then like, what are we looking for? Like, what is going to be the end goal until somebody just stops talking about it?
I mean, I think there's probably still some, like you said, unresolved issues related to the relationship. They're still pretty young.
Of course.
Well, I don't know how old Party is. Well, there's been rumors.
They said he's about 30. He's supposed to be about 33. Somebody online said he was like in his 40s. I don't believe he in his 40s. I think he like in his 30s. But when I say young, so I'm older. I'm going to say this proudly because in my mind, anybody that's like under 30 is going to be like, you're young to me. So it's like, I'm going to say those things like you said, like, well, they're young, you know, and they're still figuring it out, because at 29, 28, you are. Like, we've all been 28, 29 before, even 30. Like, you think you have it figured out, or you think you've healed, and then they're in the limelight on top of that.
Yeah.
So it makes things way harder, because I can't even imagine like what their tweets are like, what their Instagram is like, you know, like people adding them, people saying things. So I guess I think that it could have been resolved privately, though.
I mean, I agree, but is it more beneficial to them and their careers to resolve at least a portion of it publicly, to stay real? Not that, I mean, Meg obviously has a lot of support, a lot of fans, but here's the thing. We're still talking about this, but again, where's the song on the charts? Are people listening to it? And Meg is a talent. She can spit.
She's very talented. Yeah, and it's like, unfortunately, these type of things outshine the music. But to me, I don't know how anybody else in the world is, but I never see online banter and say, I want to go hear the song.
Right.
So I think people people believe that people use these kind of things as a marketing scheme, but I've never seen online tea and was like, I'm about to go listen to the song.
Well, maybe not that, but
the first time, yes, but I'm saying.
But on top of it, it keeps you just relevant in the conscious in their conversation.
That's
so
true.
that if I have a campaign or something I want to promote, maybe you'll think of that.
True.
When we come forward, we'll have more with Chell, more trending topics, more headlines, more. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
We wish you a holiday season filled with peace and love, and a new year rich with blessings. Mask up and stay safe. From all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
People making lists, buying special gifts.
Feel the warmth of the holiday spirit with Assemblymember Isaac Bryan, Special Needs Network Incorporated, and the Social Justice Learning Institute. We're thrilled to invite you to Christmas in the Park, a joyful, free event packed with love, community, and festive cheer. Join us this Sunday, December 17th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Lamert Plaza Park. It's a day filled with fun, laughter, and togetherness. Snap a memorable photo with Santa, savor tasty treats, and watch your children's eyes sparkle at our magical toy giveaway. Plus, we're bringing more to the table with food distribution, lively DJ and dancing, creative arts and crafts, and engaging community activities. Don't miss out. For more details, visit xmaspark.eventbrite.com. That's xmaspark.eventbrite.com. Join us at Christmas in the Park and create unforgettable memories with your community this Sunday, December 17th. Let's celebrate the season together.
Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now there are medicines that can treat COVID, whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/act now.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hey,
keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. We are still joined in studio by Jill. Look, so do you think that in this new era, right? It is now popular. Like, I remember back in the day, men would always act, because I feel like men have always been some of the best gossips. You get some of the best gossip.
Oh my God, the
from
barbershop? What? All the tea.
But, they always say that is women's behavior, or they used to, right?
Yeah.
And do you feel like in this new era, men are more chatty patties than the women?
Absolutely. They love a good gossip sesh. What? Like, and then, and I just tweeted about this, and I was like, when you're tweeting online or talking online, having online conversations about pop culture, entertainment news, I was like, there's always this one guy that's like, you don't know these people. And I'm like, and you don't know LeBron either. Exactly. So it's like, let us have our things. And it's like, they'll chat about it if it's like related to them in somehow. Like example, like if it's about sports or if it's sports tea, like who they're dating who. I'm online all the time. I'm chronically online, and men always gossiping about entertainment news. It just is what it is. I don't know why they feel like they're not gossiping. It's gossiping.
Because they feel that that they have the conversation more rationally. I think that's what they think.
And it's not.
So we're at the end of the year, right? Yes. Have you thought about like a top list? Like what would be, we always talk about the calendar of the top topics of the year and stuff. So since we're winding down, what would be some of your top headlines that you can think of for this past year?
It went so fast. Every time, like every week, I feel like there was like 5 crazy headlines. And when we get to the end of the year, I'm like, that happened this year? Because things happen so fast. I'm like, that wasn't 2021 or 2022. What has been crazy? Oh.
So let me give you the Usher Vegas sagas. With all the women.
That I ended up on everywhere. Because remember, I tweeted to Jacquees. Jacquees retweeted it. Usher liked it. It ended up on Complex. It ended up on Yahoo. It was a whole debacle. And that's another thing with my tweets. Like, I don't at celebrities. Like, I like to kind of keep it discreet. I use asterisks. But I said, all I said was, that's Usher. I can see if it was Jacquees. And he literally retweeted it. And then Usher going to be messy and like it. And then I'm like, this is getting so messy, but that was crazy. And then for it to transition into like a whole domestic violence thing in real life, like the story just had so many turns.
Right.
But yeah, that probably was a big moment for sure. Usher's residency alone. And then on top of that, like just women going, and then Keke Palmer and like that, her unfortunate situation with her child's father. But there was so many. Now that you said that, I want to go back and look and see like what was the crazy thing that happened.
All the things that we have to. Will and Jada was just a couple months ago.
Oh my God.
And all of that, right?
Yeah.
Think about the fact that Carly Russell happened this year.
Oh my God, that was insane.
The Alabama brawl.
Oh my God, with the chair.
Yes.
Oh my God, that was insane. See, these things happen week after week. They happen so fast, and then you want to pile on show stuff like from Housewives stuff, and like other shows that are on Bravo or other networks, like. It's all going too fast, and it's crazy. Because now when I get home and I'm on my way home in the car, I'm gonna be like, "Damn, what happened this year that like
what really
was so crazy this year?" Because now that you said all those, and I feel like we're missing so much more.
Oh, we are for sure. So okay, reality TV. What's your top right now? Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Potomac, or Married to Medicine?
Married to Medicine, without a shadow of a doubt. I love those ladies, and under that will be Potomac.
Okay.
But Married to Medicine, Quad, that's my girl.
Do you think that they're being fair to her this season?
No, I don't.
You don't?
But I don't think she's being accountable either. I think that there are moments where it's like I'm waiting and I'm like, okay, this could be her moment to be accountable. And she's just like, and you guys did things to me. And I'm like, y'all, like somebody has to be accountable. But if you go back in history with her and some of the ladies, like, they were never really cool, but at the same time, they had their small moments. I think Quad is beautiful. I think she's still in her prime. I feel like she doesn't have to be on this show necessarily. Then the whole thing with her ex-husband and the new girl, it's just very murky, and I think that Quad should walk away with some dignity at this point.
I feel that absolutely. So, do you think that there's going to be a shift as far as what we like in reality TV? Because some of the shows that have been our standards are, kind of long in the tooth and feeling sort of stale. And even we have a lot of new ones coming up, like Malaysia from Basketball Wives, Usher's ex, Tamika, and one other person. They're going to be on something called Bad and Bougie on WeTV.
With Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos is coming. And there's a couple of other things. So do you think that we're going to see the rise of some new franchises? Or
I do, and I think that's great. I think that gives people that are coming up as creators, producers, directors, writers, I feel like it gives people another opportunity to come on these shows. But I think I like to see fresh faces though. When I see like reality stars like jump from other like shows too fast, it just looks like you need a check. You know what I mean? Like and like you're willing to go on any show with any subject matter. Like, girl, what is this show even about? Like, what is this? It doesn't even align with your brand, or you just hopping on the show because it's like, I need me a little check. And in reality, from what I be learning, understanding, them checks don't even be like that.
They're not.
You might as well go to a call center.
They are not that exciting. But call center doesn't have clout chase.
You're right.
Listen, when we come forward, we are going to get into more with Chell, more on this reality TV thing, because I want to know your thoughts on Zeus Network. And we're going to talk a little bit about Rick Ross's new boo and what she says the haters are doing, and why you are not being loved by a man who is showing you how to stand in your power.
Okay, girl.
We're going to figure out what that means. All of that and more on the other side. You're locked into Artist Repeat with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.